I think I was very fortunate growing up because of my parents. I found that my mom and my dad were very perceptive of what was going on in my life, and the fact that they noticed their child becoming depressed, and that I would miss school whenever I could, and that I was constantly complaining of stomach aches and headaches, and like I said, it really just got to the point where my parents realized that as their son, that if they didn't do something about it, that their son wouldn't be graduating university and their son would no longer be around because I was on my way to taking my own life.
Growing up, I probably felt like I was different from everyone else, and felt like I was probably not just different in my own town, but probably in the entire world. Didn't know who else was out there or anyone else like me.
J'ai déjà été victime d'intimidation à l'école. Ça s'est passé au primaire, au secondaire. Même si à cette époque-là, on ne sait pas nécessairement qu'est-ce qui se passe avec nous, moi, en tout cas, je ressentais que j'étais différent. Mais sans être capable de mettre un mot sur pourquoi j'étais différent.
I think I knew I was different when I was in grade 4, and I had 3 guys try to beat me up. And that was kind of the beginning of it. And then later, when I was in junior high, locker rooms were not a great safe place to go to, so it was always one of those things that you wanted to avoid.
There were a few times too where there was physicality. I remember once being on the bus and a kid at school turning around as other people were getting off the bus, he turned around and just started slapping me in the head and slapping me in the head.
And it was one of those things where it happened so much that I almost got used to it. But I do remember thinking that it was a very hostile, very difficult environment.
En tout cas, moi, j'étais pas capable d'arriver à la maison puis de demander à mes parents ou d'en parler à mes parents. C'était un peu à l'extérieur de mes forces où j'étais trop gêné d'aller raconter ça à mes parents.
Mais je pense que pour avoir la paix, pour éviter les insultes, pour arrêter l'intimidation, j'étais prêt à rentrer dans le moule. J'étais prêt à leur donner du pouvoir et à leur laisser décider de qui je devais être, de quelle personne je devais devenir.
Things started to change a little bit when I got out of school, when I graduated, because even though I was in the same town, I wasn't trapped in the same building, and I wasn't forced to be with people that I didn't want to be with. And then I started with TELUS, and I got transferred to another town. And as soon as that happened, it was just like a huge weight off my shoulders. I became a different person. People got to know me for who I was and not for any of my history.
Things really started to change for me after high school, going to university and being in a place where people are probably respected or admired for being different, and was really able to become myself and not feel like I had to hide myself or keep pieces of myself in or hidden from other people. And it really gave me the opportunity to become truly who I am.
I would go from high school, this place where I needed to be silent to be safe, and went to work where I was making friends and where I was treated as like just the same as anybody else, and I was having a good time and building relationships, and it was 2 different worlds. And after high school ended, I started working, of course, full-time, and eventually went back to post-secondary and went to university, and things just got better and better and better.
When my dad found out that I was gay, I was terrified, absolutely terrified. He's a farm boy. That's the place he grew up and what he knows, and to him, marriage is the most important thing in the world, and having children, and you know, at that time, that didn't exist in people's minds. Gay people didn't get married. They don't have kids. They live a life of horrible sin, and they all die. And but he surprised me. When my dad found out, he confronted me during a hockey game, actually. And instead of getting angry, he asked if I was seeing anyone, and I wanted to bring them over for a barbecue. It was uncomfortable. It was weird, but it was surprising.
The moment where it really changed for me was going to the Toronto Pride Parade when I was 29, and I just saw for the first time literally millions of people who embraced who they were and were true to themselves. And about a week after that, I came out to one of my best friends.
This is who I am, and I'm not going to change for anyone. I think that people need to just take a little more time to understand us, life, pay attention to people.
Il faut être fort. Je sais que c'est pas évident, c'est plus facile à dire qu'à faire. Mais je crois que tu vas être capable d'en passer au travers.
I learned that the best way that I could live a full life for me was to be totally honest about who I am and to cherish that myself and to value that myself.
That's when you start to notice the change in other people. That's when you start to realize that you're not stuck as a 17-year-old or a 15-year-old or a 9-year-old with people that don't understand you.
Quelqu'un un jour va tomber amoureux de vous, puis ce sera le plus beau jour de votre vie. Quelqu'un un jour va vous aimer, puis vous aussi vous allez vous aimer pour qui vous êtes réellement.
Life is an adventure, and it really is your adventure, and you're really meant to show up and star in your own life. And so if anyone is telling you that you're less than, or that you're not complete, or that you're not who you should be, you really need to know that you are a whole person, and that things will get better over time. You'll find people, friends, family who love you for who you are, and that you're going to grow, and that life is a whole experience of growth, and you need to be here.
It gets better.
It does get better.
It gets better.
It gets better.
It gets better.
It gets better.
It does get better. A lot better.